G'day and welcome to my garage.
I need to mount this drill shaft on the quill support on the milling machine. So I've got this 3/8 24 thread shank in here, 9.5 I think it is, shaft. I'm just running a 9mm drill into a section there because a piece of steel, that's the width of the quill support bit, and that'll clamp into the quill support, and I'll be able to drill the centre of the spindle shaft. So 20mm deep. That's 20mm. I think they went in 20. What's that? No. Okay. The drill. Oh. The drill went deeper. The drill pushed up the chuck. So starting from 28. Gotta go to 48. No, the drill's not moving. The job's moving. I suppose you could say this is good experience, a pre-run of the what I can expect drilling the spindle. That's going to be a 10mm hole, the full length from each side of the spindle, 110 totaling 220 20mm drill depth. So this is a forerunner. That's a 9mm. 9.43. Alright, set this up. If you haven't noticed, I've got this stick coming up here because the dovetail on the tool holder is too big for the dovetail on the quick change tool post. So I'm trialing this to see how it goes. I did have some packing in the middle, but that wasn't working too well. So now I'm trialing this. One day I'll have to fix these dovetails up so they work, make a new one. Starting to hurt myself on that tool. I'm getting really annoyed with this. It just won't fit in. It's slightly bell-mouthed. I've been at it for ages. There must be a hard spot in this rod somewhere. Yeah. And the tools won't look at it, they just skip over it. So, out with the tool post grinder. There we go. Except, I'm not putting it in the tool post, I'm hanging it over the side of the tool post. Beautiful. I did do a little bit before this. I thought, oh, I'll just show it off as a tool post grinder. Hey, it works. It's sitting on the tool post. Look. All right, what I'm trying to do is line the excuse me. Line the quill support up so that I've got the boring bar in the quill support. I'm just running it along the bedways and making sure that the quill support is parallel to the bedways so I can get an accurate drilling position. So we'll just zero that. Just zeroing that. And okay. 5 thou, so it's got to go back 2.5. Come on. What have I gone? It's 2 thou. That's pretty good. That's got it lined up. And what I will be doing is taking the boring bar out and setting this bar. I've got currently a 10mm drill in this bar, but I will be taking that out to put the chuck in its place and put about about 4 or 5mm drill in first. Maybe I just try the 10 straight away because the 5mm is never going to be long enough to go halfway along this distance anyhow, we'll set this up. This is a very slow process, extremely slow. I've got to go in the full depth of this drill, which is 110mm, and I've still got 20mm to go. I've been on it pretty much all morning. Each turn of the crank is 1.5, it's a 1.5mm thread pitch. So each turn of the crank is a 1.5mm progression. So what I've got here is a 10mm drill mounted in a 16mm arbor shaft, and then that's clamped in the boring bar, not the boring bar, the quill support bushings. So that's a nice tight fit. I've got two set screws or bolts sitting down on the shaft of the drill. So this has got to be drilled from both ends. It'll be interesting on the other end how that's going to work out, but at the present moment I'm not quite there. I've still got about 18-20mm to go. So I must continue. Can't sit around talking to you. So that was 60 turns times 1.5, that's 90mm. The machine at the present moment is running high speed, low range. So high speed on the secondary 4-pulley setup, and low range on the final drive. I think it's about 83 or 86 RPM. The main spindle has now been turned around, and it's been driven on the front side. Luckily I left this shaft extra long until I sorted out what I was going to do with it. I didn't realise I would need it for this, but hey, good one. At least I got something right. So yeah, I'm on the second side. It took pretty much all day to drill the first side, and yeah, just starting this side. Hopefully it will meet in the centre and be a hole all the way through. I'll continue on. It'll probably take me a week to do it. What's making it hard is I haven't got a pilot hole in there. I'm drilling 10mm straight up. Well, this is like watching grass grow, isn't it? See you in a week. the point of slipping in the transmission is this top pulley on the final drive. The belt's not that hard. I've purposely left a little bit loose. I prefer it to slip than to break the drill in there. Well, I think, and we should have, and I think we have breakthrough. Taken me a long time to get here. We have breakthrough. Yes, yes. It's taken so long. Hours. Alright, I did end up tightening this belt. It was just slipping too much. But it's through. Good. I can go on to more now. Now, this still only gives me a 10mm through hole. I now have to turn it around and put it back in its proper position. But I can't do anything more, except for tidying up. I can't do anything more until I build the compound slide. I have the template wooden patterns in the bag. There's a compound slide to go on top of this universal, what do you call it? Universal compound. That's so I can then mount a lathe tool on the on this carriage, and then I will be able to machine an MT2 taper in the other end. After I turn it around, an MT2 taper to take the MT2 collet chuck that I have. So this is a big milestone, yes, but I'm still a long way off. Well, not a fair long way off. Well, the main spindle's been refitted. It's drilled all the way through. It's still got a lot more work to do, but at least it's the spindle is now under power. So off to do some pattern making and casting. One of these handles rattles. Well, they all do, but there seem to be one at a time. All right, catch you later. I know I said I was going to move on to the pattern making of the universal compound slide and the cross slide mechanism sit on there. And true, I will be onto that very soon. But for the present, I've decided I need to mount my switch somewhere, because currently the machine is running on an extension lead. So currently that's the switch, which works, but it's annoying. So and I eventually do need to mount a switch. So where to mount it? Well, whilst boring out the spindle, 10mm hole down the guts of the spindle, I was lubricating the spindle bearings, and I noticed, and we've still got a drop of oil there, So I get oil along here. When I oil the slides, the oil comes down here. So the problem was, a nice position would be about here. Problem is this area gets covered in oil. It will be in a, I was going to mount it in a steel box, but can you see that? Yep. I was thinking about mounting it here because it's close to the operations of the mill, but it will get covered in oil. It may get covered in rubbish, swarf coming off the cutting head. Yeah, not good. I can't put it any higher because this head comes all the way down, and when it is all the way down, this pulley is about there somewhere. So it's getting awfully close to the pulley. I could mount it out the front, but again it's going to get covered in swarf off the cutting action, possibly. I could put it to the right hand side, but then I've got too many controls over there. I've got the cross slide handle, not the cross slide handle here, and the carriage handle there. Too many controls. And I also like to stay within the limits of the board that this is mounted to. And this is a piece of board, I didn't even need to cut it, it was already this size, and it was an exact fit for what I needed. So, where to mount it? I was lost for a bit there, and then I thought, well, why not? Why not up here somewhere? That would look pretty good up there. I can't go there because I've got the oiler for the spindle bearings. It'll make it too awkward. I'll make it fairly high, and I'll see what I come up with. Now the steel that I'm using for this box is the leftover, or some of the leftover steel that was in the wood lathe. So I'm still recycling the wood lathe. Let's create something out of steel. And here we go. Yes, I got a bit excited and forgot to record cutting this up and shaping it, welding it, but hey, it's done. So this switch will mount in there. The switch will mount in there, and the whole thing will mount there. So let's mount this up and see what I've come up with. I have to find the find the 2 screws. They're here somewhere on the bench. So we'll get some close-up work of this. The switch is pretty good, and the box is pretty good. Well, what I mean pretty good, it's fairly square to the whole thing. That handle, for some reason, from the very start, that handle was not square. I need to work out why, or do I? So, that switch will go up and down. Switch will go up and down with the spindle head. It won't interfere with disengaging and that was the final drive, the intermediate drive. Does it fit? Yep, it fits. Won't interfere with the intermediate drive. The cable will be cable tied to that arm and then looped over to fit onto the motor rail, and then from the motor rail down into the motor box. So there we have it. I'll just paint that up and remount it. It'll look good. Now I'm going to have to go on to the pattern making. I'll see you then.